CBS News senior national security analyst Fran Townsend is here. She was Homeland Security and Counterterrorism Advisor to President George W. Bush. We are also joined by CBS News law enforcement analyst Paul Violas, who's had a long career in law enforcement and security. Paul and Fran, welcome back to both of you. And unfortunately, Paul, as we heard from the Clark County Sheriff Joe Lombardo, visibly shaken when he delivered the latest news, he is stealing everyone for worse news to come.
All right. Unfortunately, kudos to Las Vegas PD in their containment and the expeditious manner in which they've responded to this. But when the sheriff's speaking about that, it's safe to say for him to come out and say that there's 50 and the amount of injured, unfortunately, that number is probably going to go up.
This is now being called the deadliest mass shooting in American history. What will they now be looking for, Paul?
Perimeter. They're going to have to. They're establishing an inner perimeter and an outer perimeter for where the concert was. There's two crime scene scale. And then you also have the crime scene where the shooter was on the 32nd floor of the Mandalay Bay. They're going to have to look at, and they're going to use the casings that were dropped, and they're going to see the weapons that he used, and hopefully they're going to find more physical evidence in that particular location that's going to give them a further information as to what their next steps are and who they need to interview.
Let's talk about that, Fran. He's on the 32nd floor. I mean, this seems to be something we haven't seen before in this country. We had talked to an eyewitness that said your bags were checked as you went into the arena. It was an outdoor festival. But somebody on the 32nd floor that just sprays and was there for a long period of time.
That's right. Look, we've heard from eyewitness reports that the shooting went on anywhere from 8 to 15 minutes. That sounds like an incredibly long period of time if you're in that plaza, right, and you're hearing the shots. But the fact that the Las Vegas Police Department and SWAT team could identify the source of the fire, get up to that room, breach that room, and take out the shooter in that period of time is really incredible. It's a credit to them. The Las Vegas Sheriff's Office works very closely with the hotels in Las Vegas. The chief security officers meet on a regular basis. They perform exercises with the local sheriff's department, and all those things were to the benefit in resolving this. And as horrific as the numbers are, and I agree with Paul, they're likely to rise, it would have been much worse if the Las Vegas law enforcement had not responded as quickly.
And you're giving a lot of credit to them, who knew exactly what to do, because you said they train in this.
That's right, and they practice just these sorts of scenarios so that they know. They've looked at the blueprints of the hotels, and they've worked through so they know exactly what they're doing when they enter that room to take this guy out.
And Fran, the White House Chief of Staff John Kelly was the one who alerted the president of the shooting. The president tweeting, "My warmest condolences and sympathies to the victims and families of the terrible Las Vegas shooting. God bless you." No word yet on whether this will officially turn into a federal investigation, but do you expect that to happen?
Certainly that the feds will support it, right? So things like the ATF, alcohol, tobacco, and firearms, is essential to understanding the history of each of the weapons. We know that it was an automatic weapon that the shooter used. We also know from the Clark County Sheriff that they found other weapons in the room. You're going to want to know the entire history of those weapons. When did he purchase them? From where? And that will be an important piece. And so the feds will help that. It depends on, we know that there's a search warrant at his Mesquite retirement home, the shooters. They will go through all of his electronics. They will go through physical evidence. They will try to understand what the motive is. We don't know that yet, but many of the clues to that will exist in the physical evidence, as well as an interview of the wife or companion that they now have identified and spoken to.
This is the woman, Mary Lou Danley, who is his wife, Stephen Paddock's wife, who they were looking for all morning long. They sent out, Las Vegas police tweeted out a picture of her, saying they wanted to speak with her. We do not know where she is now or what condition she is in, but we do know that police have said they have located her, which is the primary person they were trying to reach after this shooting happened, to figure out what happened.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to hear the circumstances of how she was in custody. Fran Townsend and Paul Violas, you'll be with us all morning, so of course we'll get back to you in just a second. Joining us now on the phone from Las Vegas is Sirius XM host. Her name is Stormy Warren. Sirius XM hosted the concert. Stormy, good morning. You were there. What did you see? What happened?
Well, it was what you would expect in the worst scenario you could possibly believe. Watching Jason Aldean perform a great show, and then hearing a rat-a-tat-tat, rat-a-tat-tat, and thinking it's pyrotechnics, and it's not.
When did you realize, Stormy, that it was gunfire?
Hey, Matt. JT said that at 55.
when you knew it wasn't an audio glitch, and I'm standing right on the side of the stage, right next to the band, and when you knew it wasn't an audio glitch and it wasn't pyrotechnics, and you knew it was a problem, and you recognized the sound of gunfire, and when it wouldn't stop, that's when it was a problem.
What'd you do?
Well, first of all, we made sure that we were safe. And Jason and his crew, professional, cleared Jason off, the band off, everybody was off stage. And then I stood there, and a bunch of us stood there going, yeah, we should probably leave too. And we dove under the stage, and a few of us sat behind a concrete barrier because we knew the shots were coming from the Mandalay. And you could hear it coming from there. It was loud, high-powered rifle fire coming from the Mandalay Bay. From the roof, I thought, but turns out it's the 32nd floor.
Stormy, were your listeners hearing this in real time, and what, if anything, were you able to relay to them?
No, we were not broadcasting the Jason Aldean show at the time, and we were not able to relay any of this. So what we experienced was the same thing every one of the 30,000 people were experiencing out there in the festival grounds at Route 91. Great festival, 3 days. I mean, no problems. Everything was just perfect. And then to have the last act of the last day of the festival marred by this horrible act. We're still trying to put words to it. To hide behind barriers, to hide behind trucks, to hide behind anything we could try to find safe. You can't put that into words. This is Las Vegas. This is the Strip. This is fun. It's not supposed to be a place where you're in danger.
I know. Stormy, what can you tell us about this festival? We see that there were a lot of children there. What is this event?
Well, you know what? I mean, maybe there were a lot of children there. I did not see a lot of children there. There were a lot of young adults there. And there were a lot of young adults, and there were adults. And it was a fun country music event. I'm sure there were children there. But, my God, thank God I didn't see any of them when I walked through after the shooting stopped.
Stormy, this event has been going on for a few years?
What's that?
The event's been going on for a few years?
Yeah, for 4 years.
Stormy, what did you see when you walked through after the shooting?
After the shooting stopped, because we were all hiding, and as soon as we started walking through the grounds trying to help whoever we could, in the grass, in the place where the audience was standing, we could actually see bodies. I mean, and it wasn't just one or two. There were numerous. And I know the reports were coming out with really small numbers, but I can't express to you how difficult it was to step over and to check on and to look at bodies and then to find ones that were still alive and try to help them, and then try to find first responders who are, and anybody. I mean, I want to get this across. The humanity of this event was amazing. Everybody chipped in to help. This wasn't like an event where people were running away and trying to hide. This was an event where we knew what was going on. This was a shooting event, and there were people that were hurt and people who were dead. And we were trying to save the ones who were still alive. And everybody chipped in to help. It was an amazing humanity event, but scary at the same time because we didn't know what was next.
No, it sounds very, very terrifying, Stormy, and I'm wondering how you're feeling right now because, listen, the more we hear, the worse it gets, and now you know you have survived the worst mass shooting in U.S. history. How do you process that?
You don't. I mean, we have a group of people. I ran off with Chris Young, a country singer and songwriters and a bunch of our friends, and we gathered a group and we said, let's travel as a pack. Let's try to get somewhere safe that's not backstage at this event where a shooter has obviously put his bullseye. So we ran off and we found a safe place, and we've been sitting here trying to process this as on our way we're stepping past bodies. And bodies were gone. And the ones that weren't gone, we did whatever we could to help.